in the last week that happened. And, you see me just get all pissed off. And, get all, and the reality is it's your life, not my life. And I'm so thankful it's your life. And it ain't my life. I'm very happy. I mean, Friday night I went to the concert. And Jack's mom, thank you for giving us the tickets. They're great tickets. And there was a lady in front of us who had a drink, and she didn't finish it after the concert. The concert lasted 3 hours. And I said, man, I wish I could drink like that, but I can't. Then there was another knucklehead right behind me who was going, woo! And we went with another couple, and you know what I said to him? That's me. That was me when I was drunk. I was saying all these things, acting crazy and all that, because in my screwed up mind, I thought that was fun. Then last night I went to a big book study at the Mesquite Freedom Group, which, by the way, is that's where I keep sober. I call my sponsor, I work the steps, and I go outside meeting. There's probably 1 or 2 guys here that go to outside meeting. The rest of you guys are knuckleheads. So there was a kid about 19 years old, and he shared, and it just seemed so appropriate because he's like one of my 19-year-old guys or 20-year-old guys that it was around midnight on a Saturday night or Friday night, I don't know, Friday or Saturday night. And he's on Facebook and he sees all of his friends having parties, right? But he knows he's a drug addict. He knows he's an alcoholic. And he said to himself, I'm missing that fun. I'm missing that fun. And that's what goes through all you young guys' head. Because when you're in your late 30s, your 40s, and 50s, that fun has gone away. Now it becomes a crutch. How I survive in life. But the problem is every time I drink, I get in trouble. Every time I get in trouble, I drink or drug. The intake coordinator before Reggie, his name was Kurt. And me and Kurt have this debate many times. And Kurt says, if the probation officer calls, Brent, what are you going to say? I'm going to tell him the truth. Thanks a fuck off, he ain't working the program. He goes, but they're going to go to prison. And you know what I look at? That's a good thing. Because if you can't get sober here for 6 months, you deserve to get your fucking ass in prison. And you young guys, you look very sweet when you have some big fella chasing your ass. I mean, that's the reality. A lot of you young guys haven't done prison time. I have never done prison time. But when I hear the horror stories. So talk to guys in their 30s, 40s, and 50s that have done serious time because of this disease. That's where the self-destruction goes. And that's what you're like. And blowing it off and saying, well, I wasn't caught this time. It reminds me of Sal, who used to sit over here, or another guy who sits over here. They didn't think they were going to get caught because his infraction was in Kansas, his was in Colorado. Guess what? All these fucking computer systems are up that way. And Sal had a hell of a time renewing his driver's license. A guy over here is probably going to get his 3rd DWI. This shit, I mean, you got to sit there and say, was it worth it? Now, it's easy to play armchair quarterback on Monday, and it is Monday today, and say, yeah, that was a stupid move. But when you need to play armchair quarterback is before you first take that first drug, or the first pill, or the first drink. Because you think in your fucked up head, I'm having fun. But the reality is that isn't fun. There's so many different ways that you can have fun. And you know what? I've talked to 2 or 3 parents this weekend, and I hear this moaning. I want to go back and live with my parents. The reality is your fucking parents don't want you. That's the truth. They don't want you. So I'm the key babysitter. I'm your babysitter. Hurts whole heart. Just think of what you've done. That's what you've done. But come a Friday or Saturday Oh, that K2 looks good. Those beers look good. Because, quote, I'm missing out on fun. Fun's going to get your ass in the pen. That's the reality. And you guys on probation, it's a serious deal. I always like to leave on a positive note. You know, I got a Facebook message a couple days ago, and I got one a month ago. And this guy, he was sitting right behind Dennis. And he is in his early 20s. I think he's 21 or 22 years old. And when he came in here, you saw the spark in his eye. He had enough of this bullshit. He had enough of it. And today, he has a job, has a beautiful girlfriend. He's going to the Irving AA meetings, right? And he's having a blast. He's doing things he didn't do here a year ago. He's going to concerts. He has, and here's the problem with you guys, is you hang around your old druggy friends. You're going to all your old druggy hangouts, or drinking hangouts. And what's going to happen? It's the old saying, if I hang around a barbershop long enough, I'm going to get a freaking haircut. There's guys in here that you should never, ever go with. Now, I ain't going to mention names, but you guys know. They will never get, right? So that's guy. I got a Facebook message from a guy. He's 30 years old. He's married. His wife is expecting a kid. He just relocated to Fort Worth. He's going to AA and NA meetings, speaker meetings. He's been sober and clean for over a year. Has a great job. His wife's expecting. And he said, Brent, I was so glad I came here to Soul Farm. But you know what? Those guys are very rare. More of the knuckleheads. I mean, I could roll out 40 names of guys that have been in prison, or are in prison right now, that sat in these chairs because they thought they were going to have fun. You young guys, talk to guys in their 30s that have done some time. So we got guys in their 30s, some guys in their 40s. And you know what these guys are screaming to you? These older guys, these 40, 50-year-olds saying, don't do what I did. And what are you doing? You're doing exactly what they did, but you're expecting different results. You know, that's what Benjamin Franklin said. It's doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. That's insanity. And that's what you guys are doing. I don't know what to do. I'm just like, okay, I'm a big babysitter for these guys, and I've resigned myself to that. And I can't wait till I have enough guys paying where I can say, I'm going to get this knucklehead out. Who's paying rent? Right now, I put up with a lot, too much bullshit. The other thing we're doing, and me and Reggie talked about that, over these 3 incidents that happened, I said, Reggie, what's the common denominator? What's the same thing that has happened? And Reggie said, right off the bat, vehicles. If you guys don't have vehicles, this is what happened. So now the new rule, and thank you guys for screwing this up because you burnt the bridge for everybody else, is you're going to have 90-day clean time, which means you can't relapse in those 90 days before you get your keys to your car. And I think that's a good rule. I think it's a great rule. And it's funny because we're just evolving all these different rules over the last 3 years, but you guys are the ones teaching me and Reggie which rules we need to enforce. The other thing is you knuckleheads that want to get the 6-month certificate here, if you're here at 6 months and you're on restriction, guess what? Do you think you get the certificate? No. You get the certificates when you get off a restriction. Some of you guys are already, I mean, remember when we used to do 90 and 90 and that was unheard of? Now we have 3 guys on 90 and 90. A couple guys on 120. So if you guys show this piece of paper to your probation officer, say, I'm a little good boy, you got a long way. Thank you for letting me share.
Thanks, Brent.